What's up, guys? Welcome to the bonus video. So in this video I touch on a few aesthetic changes to the game to make the game just feel a little bit better, feel a little bit nicer, make it feel more like a game. So a few things we touched on is I touched on the UI. We changed it up a little bit. We fixed some of the particle physics. We added some world particles. We actually fixed the spawning system, so the trees are different sizes, different rotations. Adds a little bit more flair to the game. Also, the trees start from the very start. Like if I just crash here, there we go, and click restart, they all start from here, completely randomly generated every single time. Just to prove it, bam, all completely different. So we go through all of that in this tutorial. Like I said, it's just the bonus video for people who just want to take their game that extra little bit further. Another thing we touch on is the coins collected. So now we actually have the text pop up on the screen. As you can see, I've collected 1,255 coins. I've been playing this game for a while now. And yeah, guys, so there's a few more things in there, but have a go, check it out, and let me know if, how you go. Any comments or feedback are welcome in the description. Let me know if you like my teaching style. And yeah, see you soon, guys. You. Okay, let's get straight into the camera. All right, let's get straight into fixing the camera a little bit. Let us go to scripts. Let's go to camera follow. Open that bad boy up. Now, first thing I noticed is for some reason I did transform.position.x minus -9. Now that doesn't really make sense because we can just go plus 9. I mean, it's probably a lot simpler, isn't it? But I think our character is actually probably a little bit too much on this side of the screen. Probably want to bring him in just a little bit. So it might be different for your game, but for my game, I'm just going to make it 8. Save that. Let's go back to the game. Full screen it. Let's press play. See how it looks. I think that looks much better. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to the camera follow script. Some people mentioned that the end was a little bit jarring, and I agree, it totally is. So let's let's start fixing that now. So, to do that, we are going to edit this script here, the camera follow script. I'll just zoom in a bit. First of all, you've got this if statement down here. But I realized that it might be better if we actually just copy this if statement, just that top line there, and actually put that up here. Change it to true. So if the game is playing, it's going to follow in the X and the Y position. Delete this line here now, and delete this down here. And let's write. So we want to first close. Whoa. Want to first close it, the if statement here, just so it's neat. Then we want to write else, and then we want to put this code in here. So, so what did I just do there? So I just, instead of taking the having the if statement for the game init script. We've got a variable in the game initialize script that just says, you know, is the game playing? So if the game is playing, which is true, have the X position of the camera follow the transform position of the character, the player, and the same with the Y position. Else, we are going to do some funky stuff. Alright, so first thing we want to do, let's delete all this, we don't need that anymore. We are going to just write vector 3, we'll call it death cam pos for position, and we'll say equals transform dot position. So this is just setting up the variable. Then we're going to access that variable. It's called death cam position dot x equals player, which is this variable up here, dot transform.position.x, and then we just want to transform the position. So now this is the, so we've set up the variable here, the first line, we've then changed it to the x position of the player, and now we're going to just lerp it, which will make it nice and smooth. So we'll do a transform dot position equals vector 3 dot lerp transform dot position, and now we're going to say, now we're going to transform it to the, translate it to the def cam position vector, and then we're going to do it by 2.0f times time dot, let's say fixed delta time and close parentheses, and there we go. Sweet. So that should arguably it should work. Let's see if it does. So let's go to the game, press play. Actually, what we should do is go into the prefabs, grab the enemy, and just chuck the enemy in here. Let's maybe bring him along on the X a little bit. So it means we're going to run to the enemy straight away. Much better. So that's awesome. So when you play the game, now the camera slowly lerps over to where the depth of the character is. Awesome, guys. So that's first things first. Now let's get on to the next thing. Okay, so let's get rid of the enemy. We don't need him anymore. And let's get on to spawning some trees when we first start the game. So let's go to our scripts. Let's open up object spawner. Groovy. Alright, we want to create a couple of new variables. So first variable we want to create is a, let's go private vector 3, not vector 4, vector 3, and let's call it tree x spawn start locations. Wow. Alright, we're just going to leave it like that. Oh my gosh. Let's create another private float, and we'll call this tree tree start spawn times. Awesome, I'm the king of spelling out variables. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to actually create a start method. So the reason we're doing this is because when you start the game, you play the game, and it's just there. There's nothing there. There's just nothing there, and like at the start, and it just doesn't feel very nice. So we're going to create it, make it so trees spawn when you first start the game. So let's create a start method. So void start. And let's say tree. I'm not writing all that out. Tree x spawn start locations dot x equals minus 30. So that will mean it'll start the locations where the trees will start spawning will be behind the player, which is what we want. And then we want to create a new start a new method. It's going to be called spawn start trees. Man, I apologize, guys, for these lame names. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm pretty tired. Alright, let's create a new method. Just because it runs at the start, let's put it at the top of all the methods, just for organization's sake. And say void spawn start trees. Spawn starts trees. Alright, I feel like I just typed something wrong. I'm just going to check. Nope, no errors. That's awesome. Okay, now we're going to have a while loop. So we'll go while. So what while does is while will run every single time until the condition is true, until it's not true anymore. So just follow along here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say while the tree start spawn times is greater than 0, execute this code. And the code is going to, first of all, it's going to instantiate some trees. So we can just actually copy this code from down here to save time. And once again, same as instantiating trees before, it's going to instantiate trees at random range, but instead of staying at the player position.x plus 70, we're going to say tree spawn start x tree x spawn start locations dot x, and then underneath that we'll put in a tree spawn start x locations dot x equals tree x, oh my gosh, getting twisted, dot x plus 5. So what does that do? So that just says this variable well, it's actually equal to that variable but plus 5 on the x. So that means that the trees will like procedurally go along and instead of the player moving from left to right, and as he's moving the trees get spawned 70 blocks away from his position, it's going to go, okay, let's make a tree here, then alright, now we're going to change it 5 spots this way, 5 spots this way, 5 spots this way. And the reason it looks good, and will look good hopefully, is because the z values here will still be random, which will make it look exactly the same as the trees, how the trees normally spawn. And then all we want to do is we want to say tree spawn start time. Geez, some of the variables look really similar. That's not good coding practice, guys. I apologize. And we just want to decrease that. So starts off at up here. We actually want to say what the float is. Silly me. And we're going to say 20. Tree start spawn times. Tree start spawn times. Oh my gosh. Alright, and that should work. Play the game. Bang, all the trees are there. Play the game again. Bang, all the trees are there. And you can see here that some of them are overlapping, I think. Oh no, they're not. That's fine. And because we are all fantastic programmers, you notice well, that has nothing to do with our programming, but it works out great. These will all delete and it won't be seen on the screen. Cool. Awesome. So we fixed that little thing, made it feel that little extra bit nicer. Well done, guys. We're doing good. Okay, let's do some just quick aesthetically pleasing adjustments. Get the coins and some organization. Get the coins and throw them in the level. So we're going to keep them there just because they're nice for new players to have the coins just there for them to understand that they've got to move up and down and things like that. Awesome. So put them in the level for organization. Then we're going to start messing around with some of the UI. So the fuel bar. Let's make that. I feel like we should make that a little bit thicker. Let's make it 50. Oh, I said 5,000. No, 50. Cool. Let's maximize that on play. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, I like that a bit better. Cool, and the score and high score. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of it going in two lines here. So what we might do is, is just adjust the width to say 400, and let's see what that looks like. Oop, even worse. Say 500. Cool, but now this bar looks like crap. So what we can do is grab the score and the high score, and let's drop it down to 100. And let's get the fuel bar and actually bring it up to 25. Let's see what that looks like. Not very good. Let's bring the score and high score up to where they were. Maybe that looked better. I think we're just gonna. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. It looks a little bit better, but we're going to just track that in 15 pixels from the top. I just think that looks just a little bit better. Maybe I'm just gotten used to the old way and I don't like it anymore. Cool. That's looking good. Well, guys, you can do whatever you want. You can actually get the score and like bring it all the way over here if you want, or the high score. You can do whatever you want. But we're just gonna leave that for now. Just make it a little bit better. So we got the restart button here. Now that looks like a big heap of mess. So I think what we can do, at least give it some color, like a dark green to go with our theme, or maybe even a I reckon that kind of blue actually might look a little bit out of place. We go like a wood kind of color. It all depends on what it looks like when there's trees in the background. Not the biggest fan of that. I think we'll leave it at like a dark green like that, just to match the green. See what that looks like. Yeah, we might change the transparency a little bit. A bit darker. Fan of that. 481, 17, 215. I forget how to change that. So we're just going to 481. Yeah, that looks alright. Change it to whatever color you want, guys. I don't want to spend too much time fiddling around with that. And I'm just going to do a few things to make it look a bit better. I want to go to the text. Want to best fit, maximum size 100. Maybe not. 100, yeah. I think it'll look better when we push play. No, it does not. That looks a bit better, but we can change the color now to like a let's change it to a yellow. I love how the trees are all different every time. Cool. Alright, that looks a little better in my opinion. We want to add just another thing as well, is under the restart button we want to create a new text object. So actually first what we'll do is we'll call this restart text, just so we don't get confused, and then right click on restart button and create a new text. and then my old computer takes ages to load, and then we are going to call this text coins. Alrighty, let's get out of that view into this view. Bring that down. Let's get it to pivot from the bottom there. I think that's okay. What if we full screen that? What does it look like? Yep, still there, which is good. And we are going to change it obviously to bamboo or whatever font you guys have, and we're going to call it coins collected, and change it to, that actually might not look too bad. Bit small in my opinion. Center it obviously. Center it again probably is a good idea. Best fit. Click up here, grab the edges, expand it out. Cool. Let's make, yep, that works well. Awesome. Now we need to go into our, what script was it? I think it was this script. So open up your score script, and we're going to write, we're going to create a new game object, a public game object, and we're going to call it coins UI. Cool. We're going to say coins UI dot get component text dot text equals coins collected space, make sure you put a space, then plus data management dot coins collected dot toString, same as the other lines at the top here. Bang, 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 bang. Should work fine. So if we go to coins here, the scripts actually, alright, maybe it's player. What has the score script on it? Data management script. Where is the? I swear it was on the player. Play collision, audio effects. Move. Start button. Canvas. It's on the canvas. Alright. Drag over the coins UI. And now, if I'm correct, yep, coins collected 941. Okay, and then we turn off the restart button. And then, when we're playing the game, plodding along, come on, where's an enemy? There we go, we got your coins collected. Actually, that's pretty hard to read in front of the black. Let's make that white. So we're doing pretty good, guys. We're just adjusting a few things to make the game just feel a lot nicer, and I think it automatically feels so much better. So that is good. Alright, let's kill myself here. Look at that. Beautiful. Looks absolutely amazing. Alright, sweet. Let's get on to the next little doozy. Okay, let's. I just actually thought of something. It'd actually be really good if the trees spawned at random rotations. Just give that extra little bit of randomness. So let's go into the object spawner script, and let's go to the spawn start trees. And instead of doing quaternium.identity, which is the rotation, and basically what that means is it rotates to whatever its default is. Whatever the prefab is or whatever the object is, it'll go to the default. If that's 0, it'll be 0 every time. But we don't really want that here. We actually want to write. We actually want to go quaternium dot whatever that is, and then we want to do 0 on the x-axis, and then on the y-axis you can see here float x, float y, float z. On the y-axis we want to do, you guessed it, random.range. And what do we want to do random from? Well, how many degrees is there in a full circle? 360, so we want to go 0 to 360, and then 0 on the z-axis, close brackets, end, and let's just give that a spin, see if it works. So this is just for the start trees. Okay, I think that might have worked. So if we go to the trees, yep, random. All the y rotations are random. Cool. So that just makes it just a little bit. You might not even notice it, but subconsciously people will. So that just makes it a little bit cooler. So we can just copy that part there, and we can go down to our spawn trees down here. Paste that in. Save it. And everything works great. All the trees are actually randomly rotated now as well. Gives it a little bit more pizzazz that we're looking for. Cool. Okay, there's one last thing we're going to do with the trees that I think is just going to put it over the edge of just awesomeness. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create, make it even, once again, a little bit more random, add a little bit more juiciness to the game by making the trees different sizes. So the way we do that is we're going to need to access this, whatever tree it pumps out, we're going to need to access that through scripts. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're actually going to add a few more lines to this instantiation line of code here. So what we're going to do is say game. We're not going to do that, whatever that was. Apologies for that. Oops. Game object tree equals instantiate blah 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 blah. That's all good. And at the end of it, of the line of code, hope you guys can see, we're going to say space as game object. Cool, so that will just instantiate it as a game object. Then we want to enter down, so now we want to access that tree variable. So what we do is we say tree dot transform dot local scale equals new vector 3, and we want to give it the vectors we want, and the first vector is the way you can tell what just quickly, the way you can tell what it's going to ask for is you can just press the up and down key, and it actually tells you. You can see here it's going to ask for a float x and a float y and then a float z. I just told that by going up and down with the up and down keys on the keyboard. Alright, so it's going to ask for an x, y, and a z. So for the x, what do we want? Well, we want to do, once again, random dot range. And we want to do that between 0.9 f, let's say, comma 1.5 f. Awesome, so that was the x. Now, comma to separate to the y. Now we want to do the same thing. We can just actually copy and paste this whole section here in, bang, and Z same again. We don't need that there, and we don't need that one there either. Awesome. And then we need another parentheses and finish up. Cool, and that is ready to rock and roll. So this will be for our spawn start trees. So just the trees at the start. The reason we're just doing that at the moment is just so we can test it to see if it's actually what we want to do. So let's maximize on play, and we'll press play to see it in action. Nice. So you've got definitely some bigger trees now. Oh. There was a bit of an error there actually. I think we ran into the tree. Awesome. So that would make sense that we run into the tree because we've made the trees bigger. So that looks good, I think. So what we can do is just quickly is we can just actually we can copy this line of code. Zoom out, and we can put it straight under this instantiate here. And remember, all we're going to do is say game object tree equals instantiate blah 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 as game object. Cool. Let's just quickly see if that works, and then we'll fix up the tree problem. Fantastic. Well, I think that what we could do is we could actually move the trees back a bit further. But I think what might actually be better, and probably less work on the processor as well. Oh, which one's here? What's going on there? The reference script is missing behavior. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, what we can do, what I think would be better is if we went to the prefabs and we actually, for all the leaves, we just delete the box collider, because we don't even need a box collider on any of it actually. Remove. 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 And last one. Oops. Alright, everything should be fine now. We shouldn't be able to go for any of the trees. And if we do run into a tree, like maybe here, we'll just pass through the leaves, which should be expected. Well guys, I think the game is looking pretty cool now. It's definitely, we've definitely upped the quality. Awesome. 1001. Yoo! Okay, last thing we're going to do is this particle effects is driving me nuts. I'm not a fan of it, so we're going to fix that right now. First things first, just get rid of this black ugly smoke. Let's turn off that, and let's go to Jetpack. Alright, so let's create a start lifetime of 1, that's fine. Looping, pre-warm. I don't know about pre-warm, let's Okay, it definitely needs to start faster than that. Duration 1 second. Start speed 10 is fine. Start rotation. Color. Gray. Inherent velocity. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah, something's going on there. I think I could change that back to local. Oh, that looks much better. Awesome, and we can just adjust it a little bit. It's coming probably a bit too far up from the jetpack. So the shape, cone, angle, radius, emit from nope. No. I think cone was fine. Awesome. So I think that just adjusts. You can obviously adjust it to your liking, but yeah, this is what I like. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Don't forget to turn the emission back on for the player particle effects. Now, one of the last things we can do to just add a little bit more zing to the game is right-click on the player and create a new empty object. And we'll just call this world particles. Space there. Awesome. Now what we're going to do is add another particle system. And actually we are going to turn off the jetpack and off the emission of that. Okay, so now we're just working with the world particles. And alright, so first things first, we're going to say duration 20 seconds. Looping, yes. Pre-warm, yes. Start lifetime 10 seconds. Start speed 0.1. Start size, we're going to leave that, I'll say 0.2. No, 0.1. Cool. We are actually going to also change the simulated space to world. Maximum particle, let's add another 0 onto that, just for fun. And for shape, we're just going to do big, big sphere. And the sphere, we are going to make 100, 100, 100. So, rotation. Right, put this back to 1, 1, 1. radius, say 100. Maybe that's a bit too much, maybe 10. Now you see how they just float there? That's pretty cool, right? Maybe say 20. Random directions, and let's press play. Awesome. So it's not much. I think we can maybe up the size a little bit. Like if you went to 0.35 is fine. Start speed. Let's make that a 3 as well. No, let's make that a 5 so they're moving around a bit. Oh, even a 1 could do fine. Maximize on play. Let's see what it looks like. Particle effects is all about what it looks like. So now we've got a bit of a Lost Woods Zelda style particles floating around, which you can decide to add to your game or decide not to. Now the particle effects will follow the player wherever he goes, and particles will just pop up. They'll look like they're in the world space, which is really, really cool. So yeah, they just cruise along and you'll get particles popping up. So obviously tweak that to your liking, but I think it really adds a unique kind of vibe to the game. Alright guys, well I think that's where we're going to call it off at this stage. Oh, actually, just before we do that, make sure we turn the bit back on the jetpack, make sure it all looks good with everything going. Oh, that looks sick. Alright guys, well that is the bonus video done. I hope that I could answer a few questions. There was a few things that, there's always things that you can improve in games, but I think that we did pretty good. Alright guys, well hit up some questions in the comments and we'll continue on from there. If you've got any suggestions for future videos you'd like me to do, please let me know. Like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Reach me on Twitter as well, or you can join the Let's Make a Game Together website, in which we'll be making games together. Yeah. Alright guys, see you later. Peace.